All right. We want to welcome everyone to our fall series. You guys had a long vacation away from us, and we're super excited to be able to come back this fall to host a series of events. You never know what we're going to be hosting. But tonight we thought we were just going to keep it basic, but do some education and kind of get everyone into the, to falling into health, better health this fall instead of out of it. All right. And so tonight, have myself, Barbara, they got Marathon Mom on here, but I do a little bit more of that than Marathon Mom. Do a lot, right? Certified Health Coach and Nutrition. I'll be your host and also my co-host all the way from St. Louis, Missouri. We have Lisa Hale, who's a gym owner. And we're just super excited. Just a few housekeeping. If you've entered the room, please let us know who invited you, who you are a guest of, or who invited you to this event. So we want to thank them for that. And also just want to let you all know that this is a laid back event. We're hosting it, but it's all about you all who decided to show up and get a little message of help. So Lisa and I, along with several others, not looking at the team members who are on the call, but we are a part of a larger worldwide group who try to inspire healthy living around the world. And so there are various ways we can do that. We know Lisa has a gym. I do workout sessions. We also educate, right? Because there's not one aspect to health, okay? And so tonight, we're not gonna touch on everything, but at the appropriate time, we will open the floor for questions because this is about you and not about us. And so any information that we share tonight, feel free to put questions in the chat. We'll be watching that, or just ask questions at the appropriate time. All right, let's get started here. All right, some things that we normally, fall normally bring. All right, we'll go down this list here, and some or all you might be involved in. Sports, increased consumption of food, processed foods, right? Whether your children are playing sports or you are a football fan, one of the two, right? You're at those sports, sporting events, and what's there? I've never seen a fruit stand at a sporting event. I've never seen a produce stand at a sporting event. So, you know, if you're there for 2 or 3 or 4 or more hours, what are you going to get? If you didn't bring anything, chances are you'll be consuming more processed foods. Okay, fall also bring increased stress due to school activities. All right, again, sometimes this kind of ties in hand with those sports or extracurricular activities where you're running from school, then you have an aftercare program, and then you're running back to try to run errands. It's just increase in stress loads. Who want to think about health at all? All right, I hear some of my clients, and I know Lisa hear this all the time as well. I don't have time, right? Unpredictable schedules. You think you got everything laid out, you got your to-do list, and somebody calls. You know, somebody needs something, somebody needs you right now. You know, it's always urgent. But our schedules are unpredictable, more unpredictable in the fall for some reason. I guess it's just so much going on. Then we have the fall festivals, right? Trunk or treat, trick or treat, a lot of those things. Scarce produce, woo, and higher costs. If you notice, and maybe you haven't paid attention, as you start right about now, going to your grocery stores, you're going to see slim pickings. You know, you have a bunch that looks real healthy and looks like somebody tore off some produce and stuck half of it in their purse or something, but you're just looking like, where are the ingredients? Some people have even started to shop early for holidays because they're afraid that something is going to be out of. All right. Then you have the holiday parties, right? Cooler temperatures. Who wants to snuggle up in bed? Meaning it normally mean less movement. You know, we're waiting on the fall, you know, for it to cool off. We're saying, "Ooh, I'm glad we're out of the summer heat," but then we start to move less. Those cooler temperatures, no one wants to break out at 5 or 6 a.m. for a workout, walk in the park. This just doesn't happen that often. Not say that it doesn't happen at all, but not that often. Okay, and so we have all of those things we just talked about. And normally, typically, it usually brings on what? Weight gain, lost wagon. Who know what a lost wagon is? All right, so normally people say, I fell off the wagon. Usually when they fall off the wagon, you can kind of see it, but normally when the wagon is lost, what I tell my clients, when it's lost, you are in big trouble. You not only fell off of it, but you don't even know where the health wagon is, right? Low immune systems. You know, you see more commercials, and I want you all to start paying attention to the commercials that you see coming up. It's going to be about vitamin C, tablets, a lot of medicines that's geared towards what people typically experience during this time of year. So watch your commercials. They're going to tell you that they're ramping up all those medications and allergy medicines because people's immune systems are constantly being compromised during this time. It also brings on depression, you all. Less movement, not getting out, not hitting that sun, not, immune system, you get sick, so you don't feel like doing anything. Then it can also bring on depression in some individuals, all right? Cold and flu, other different viruses, and inflammation. A lot of people don't understand that their diet, stressful lifestyle, and things that they're participating in every single day always cause their body to get inflamed. All right, so this is just a small list. I could have exhausted this list, but this is just what typically happens in the fall. Sometimes it feels like you're having fun, and then everything starts to go, oh boy, oh boy. So what can we do? What can we do to be healthier? All right. One thing I want everyone on here to give yourself a shout out, because you are first and foremost just being aware you wanted to come tonight. You know, I see some of my guests here, family, but you wanted to come because this is about a message of health. So that's actually a start. Whether you've done anything to better your health, you're actually starting by being in a place where healthy people are, or healthy messages are being delivered. So we're going to look at this. Exercise, okay? But you just can't exercise without all the other things that's on this list. Sleeping 7 to 8 hours. So I know some individuals who actually work out 4 to 6 days a week, but they don't get any sleep, right? They're not managing their stress, which is all counteractive to even the workouts that you're doing. Drinking water. For those who get on those my Tuesday and Thursday calls, you know, I always, almost all the time before I end the call, I say, hydrate, hydrate, okay? And then using safer products. We don't think about that. And then what we're going to be talking about tonight, or bringing just more attention to, is eating real food. All right. So we're not gloom and doom. Everybody on this call, you know, we're all in different places. Maybe you're here to encourage or just kind of keep your healthy regimen going. And we appreciate that. So I'm going to turn it over to Lisa for a minute, and she's going to talk about this real food and some solutions that we have.
Thank you, Barbara. And also for the fall and the winter is when people start packing on the layers of clothes and the jackets. And in my fitness world, I always tell people, you know, you don't want to pack on all the clothes and then you get, I always say, like slumpy. And then come spring, you start taking all those clothes off and you're still, you know, you're still full. Okay. So I'm always big with, you know, make sure that just because you're going to cover it up in clothes doesn't mean you get lazy. So between Barbara and I think we could bust some butts together. That's for sure. Be crazy if we were in the same town. Anyway, well, welcome everybody. And like Barbara said, thank you for just coming on. Now you got to stay on to listen. Okay. So here's the thing. And then you have to make that decision at the end, you know, what kind of changes you want to make, you know, looking at your life right now. So bridging the gap, you know, if you look at the left and kind of what Barbara said in the beginning, kind of what fall brings is, you know, these kind of foods, they're all just beige and browns, and well, tomato sauce is on the pizza. So it's a little bit of something there, but definitely not vibrant colors. When you look on the right of what you should eat, back years ago, it was 5 a day. And now it's, and I think we'll probably come to that later, but it's 9 to 13. And it's even more for athletes, chronically sick people, or pregnant women need 20 servings, and a serving is a fist. So when you're seeing the, what you probably eat, what you should eat, that's where this piece comes up of bridging the gap. And that's what we're going to talk about, whole foods in different forms. So what is Juice Plus? Juice Plus adds nutrition from 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries to your diet. So at the bottom, there's reds, which are fruits, greens, which are vegetables, purple, which are berries, and then the omega blend we'll get into. But it's whole foods harvested at the peak of ripeness. I don't know if y'all know, but I knew people in the trucking business for the food, and they said, you know, when your grocery store is saying they give you the freshest produce, well, it's been sitting in the truck for weeks to months until they say, hey, bring in the next shipment of Granny Smith apples. And, you know, then you get them and they're all waxed and they're bruised and yeah, and they're tasteless. Where we take the actual, and we pulverize, not juiced, but we pulverize and dry it into powders for these capsules, and we preserve all the nutrition with a cold process. So a lot of vitamins out there, they do a heated process, and that's where you lose your nutrition, and we do a cold temperature. So the plant powders are put into capsules, or we have just delicious chews for the kids. And then we'll get to the omega. It's a spectrum of no fish and all algae, berries, and seeds. Our product is unique. Oh my gosh, it's food label, and there's no product out there. This isn't a lie. There's no product out there that has all of this. For the last 27 years, it's been out. Food label, NSF certified, which means any athlete, like high-end athlete, like any of those Tokyo Olympians, if they were found with this product in their bag and there's an NSF certification, they would know that it's safe enough and it's not going to taint their blood. They're not going to test out and not be able to compete. So very, it's like a third party that comes in with that. We are the most researched nutraceutical product in the world. Doctor recommended, large selling nutritional product of its kind, and it's free for kids and teens. And we'll talk about a Healthy Starts program later. So the omega is pretty cool here. I don't know if anybody ever did fish oil pills, where you burp up fish at 8 o'clock in the morning at your desk. Not pretty, not attractive. Omega fatty acids supports a array of health benefits: heart, brain, joint, skin, and eyes. Those are pretty important parts of your body. But 100% plant-based, pure, sustainable, full spectrum of omegas. So we do omega 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. A lot of out there is people are overdosing on just an omega 3 or omega 6. So we did a whole full blend of 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, which is a nice rainbow. And we got rid of the fish, because really you need to like scrape 4 pounds of fish to get like 2 teaspoons of the fish oil that's needed for an omega oil. So we got rid of the fish and we went to the source, the algae oil. And then we went in for the other omega blends. We went to pomegranate seed, sea buckthorn berry, which is out in Nepal, raspberry seed oil, safflower, and tomato seed oil. Vegan capsules, again, non-GMO. Every product we have is non-GMO. And we did actually recently just get a very high non-GMO certification, which like hardly nobody can do, for the reason is they're not non-GMO. So every process, every farmer, every item in our products are non-GMO. So, and that's a good thing, guys, very good thing. So Juice Plus Complete Shakes, I love these. Of course, I've been an athlete my whole life, fitness trainer, 39 years, going on 40, own my own gym the last 10 years. And I've tried every gag shake that's been out there, whey protein, say no to whey, to come into this complete shake. It's called complete because it's literally enough of fats, proteins, and carbs to actually have a full meal for you. So that's why some people like meal replacement, like it's my breakfast. It used to be Pop-Tarts before I knew better. And now I did have a few favorite of those, but now it's I'm eating broccoli sprouts. That's got to be much better than a Pop-Tart, right? But it's vegan. It's made with non-GMO. It's gluten and dairy free. 13 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber. It's low glycemic. It stabilizes blood sugar. So even diabetics can take this. And we also have some diabetics that actually take it at night. So in the morning, they're not crashing. But yeah, so you can read all of those ingredients, and it's a washed soy, so don't be concerned. Soy's controversial out there with estrogen and breast cancers and cancers, but it's the GMO soys that are the problem. We have the non-GMO, and it's a washed soy, and enough of this product was actually tested with MD Anderson Cancer Institute down in Texas with ovarian cancer patients and survivors, and they were actually giving them this complete shake. So if it's good enough for MD Anderson, it's good enough for us. Tower Garden is the future growing. So, you know, about 9 years ago, they came up with, a lot of people were like trying to do their own food source. How can I grow my own? Very many people, you know, not everybody wants to do the traditional garden. Me personally, fingernails in the dirt, you know, on my knees, it's not my thing. But when I saw a vertical tower and it watered itself, I'm like, who wouldn't want this? So I have two myself. I have the Flex on the right. That's been an outside inside unit in St. Louis. I'm like from May to November. Actually, I just planted like 20 lettuces in the gardens, and then I have then I bring them inside for the winter. But you grow your own produce, you know, and how great is that? And especially for the fall, how great is that to go to the basement and just, you know, while you're cooking, just go to the basement, and I'm like, oh, I'll pick my basil, my oregano, my herbs, and then put fresh right there, mojito mint. I mean, just a ton of stuff that you can grow in there. So we love the Tower Garden. It's the research, guys, that really sets us apart. We've attracted thousands of doctors, because really when doctors see what it is and read the label, there's a lot of products out there. So a lot of people will go to their doctor and say, hey, I'm taking this Juice Plus. And if people are not familiar with it, they think it's a juice, and juices are very high in sugars, you know, so they're thinking that's not, oh, you better not take it, just eat real food. Even a lot of nutritionists will say, eat real food. Well, too many people do not eat enough of the real food, and this is the problem. And so this is why this fits so well, bridging the gap. But when they read the label, it's like, wow, that's what it is. It's broccoli, it's kale, it's spinach, it's cherries. It's exactly what it says it is. And we have certification is that's what's on the label. Well, here it is in all of these universities that we rub elbows with, which are high-end, Vanderbilt, I mean, all across the country, in Italy, Europe. But the kicker is how it contributes to all of your organs. You know, we have studies on cardiovascular wellness, a healthy inflammatory response. Right now, in what we're living in today, you need to have a healthy inflammatory response, from a cut to your finger to way beyond that. Sports quality of life, healthy cholesterol, triglyceride, which is a heart attack actual biomarker. If you have high triglycerides, they're concerned. Healthy lung function. Gosh, right now, definitely keep those lungs, especially if exercise. Healthy skin and gums, supports immune system. That immune system is all over the news. Helps maintain healthy DNA. Remember, your DNA is reproducing your blood cells over and over again. So if you have a poor set of blood cells, it's going to just keep duplicating poor sets, you know, set after set. And actually, Juice Plus is known to, your blood recycles in 120 days. And so actually, Juice Plus comes in 120 days supply, a 4-month supply. So we want you to try it for that 4 months, replenish a full set of blood cells, and then see how you feel. And really it's happening in your blood work. So a lot of times you don't know. So where do I start? So I'm going to give this over to Barbara.
All right. Thanks, Lisa. You always do a good job breaking down the product. So where do we start? Well, first of all, don't panic. We're going to always tell you the bad news first, but we are here to provide options. But don't panic. Continue to get educated on all of those things we talked about. But we have a simple solution. And I want you to just this is kind of a review. Just take a glance at the produce. I always say produce that's provided in Juice Plus. All right. So go think about, if you did nothing else, if you don't go out and do those 5 miles a day or work out with Lisa or myself, or even get enough sleep. We're talking about making one simple change. You just have to start with nutrition alone. which is a great place to start. You know, you're not trying to tackle all 6. Juice Plus is a great place to start. Think about taking your body from 0 to consume it. I'm not going to say 0. So maybe 3 or 4, 3 or 4 real food into 60, 40 or 60. Imagine how your blood work is going to do over time, right? This is not a cure or quick fix for anything, but the moment you start to bridge the gap between what you eat, what we should eat, and what you actually get into your body, magic happens, okay? We don't make any false claims or promises, but we know what God has created for real food and how it acts in our body is second to none, the best for us, okay? And that looks different for everybody. So just consider just adding Juice Plus. Just say, well, look, I can't exercise. I'm still a rat race. I'm still 20 of those things that Barbara talked about earlier, but I can start here. I can start to feel a little better by putting something in our system. And so this is what I love about Juice Plus, and we have a Jumpstart to Health program. It's called the Shred 10. Anybody, okay, we have an expecting mommy on the call, she can actually shred. Children, my teenagers shred with me. And the Shred 10 is not a 10-day where you're going to lose 10 pounds or anything like that, but you could, all right? But it's a 10-day jumpstart to continue, okay? And we have a group of guidelines. We do this online and offline where we share the guidelines with you. We're there for support. We give you a lot of options, free recipe books. We share ways to make your shakes, smoothies, regular meals, tips on how to sleep better. Exercise tips. I mean, just anything that you think you would need to just get better during those days. And a lot of folks, when they see those results in those 10 days, eating better, better digestion, sleeping better, just feeling, they don't want to stop. Do you have to be perfect? No, but each time around gets better and better. So we do have that program available. And maybe you just want the guidelines and you can go off on your own in the sunset and you don't want all the attention. Some people like to kind of do their own thing. They love the program, but they don't want any attention. We will support you in that way. But we keep it simple. Everybody in the house, I think I keep repeating myself, everybody in your house can do the shred. It's not restrictive where you have to hide a product from a child. Lisa kind of mentioned earlier, even for us and my family 12 years ago, when we started on Juice Plus, I was very cocky, running a marathon and thought I was the healthiest thing in Memphis, Tennessee. I was not. But because Juice Plus said yes to my children and I knew they were not getting real food in their bodies, I started and I hadn't turned back since, right? Because of what it is and the nutrition that it provides. So when the doctors and nutritionists got together and put the shred together, hands down is a great combination program for kickstarting your way. And so we will guide you through that. Personalized support, fun, again, accountability. Some people need that. So that's where you want to start. Just ask us more questions. And you can join us. You can join this mission. We invite any and everyone to join us in just sharing more message about health. We'd love for you to tell us, what do you want to do an event on? We have done events from heart health. We've done events on skin health. Our research covers so much. We have endless resources and events that we're going to provide. And I know coming up this fall, and I hope you guys will come back. We're going to be sharing holiday recipes, how to detox, things of that nature. And we just welcome you to just start wherever you are. And I'm going to stop sharing, and then we're going to open the floor up for questions. Feel free to unmute yourselves. It's 7:29 on the dot, so I think we did really well. I know we do have some individuals on the call who have been consuming Juice Plus, so you have a wealth of knowledge on here. Please ask questions. You have that opportunity now to unmute. Kim Lord, thank you for joining us. I'm checking the chat. Feel free to unmute and ask your question. Even if you don't want to come on screen, you can just unmute your audio.
Well, I have a question, more so for someone who I referred Juice Plus to, my mother-in-law. She asked me this weekend, she's on it, and she said, well, daughter, I don't see any changes. I said, well, I don't think it's about seeing the changes just yet. You just got on for a couple of weeks now. It's about, I told her before I knew, I said, you need to check in with your doctor regularly because she's on a lot of medications. And check with your levels, see what the doctor is saying, see how often you can do half a pill and things of that nature. So on a regular basis, I know everybody is different, but how long would you say Juice Plus, hey girl, takes to get in your system and start doing what it needs to do? I would say immediately, but for people who ask me, just a kind of general answer.
Okay, so actually you are correct. Every real food works immediately when you put it in your body, whether it's Juice Plus or apple off the shelf. All right, so, but the other part to that is how your deficits are, right? How deficient you are. So if your levels are way down here, you almost, because Juice Plus is produce, double up. Whatever problem you're trying to overcome, especially if you're still not meeting that at the table, you're not trying to replace it. So you double up on your Juice Plus to see even quicker results. But because your deficits are here, or maybe here, but they need to be here, you have a long way to go. So 2 months may not be, 4 months might not even be your answer. It may be more like 6 months to a year, because you have to think about, if your eating habits have been poor for 20 years, or even the last 5, you have to be in it for the next 5 to repair and all of that. So Lisa, I know you're going to back me up with some more information.
So on that, I mean, I've given a sample. It can go you just don't know how it's going to go because everybody is different. And like Barbara's saying, it's depending what you're deficient in. And so usually people that are on a lot of meds, Juice Plus has to work really extra hard. Okay. We're a healthy person. They're like, I'm a healthy person. And so I don't feel like I'm feeling a lot, but it's usually in the blood work. And I mean, I've been on it 18 years and it took me probably 90 days, I think, to wash out my 25 years of crap vitamins. And until I just started feeling a little bit, and then people were seeing things on me. But then year after year, different stuff was happening, kind of the gum health. I don't bruise when I hit my foot on the edge of the desk. I used to bruise. I have better blood flow. I don't pass out when I give blood anymore, again, just all these little things, that I look back at and I'm like, wow, that took years to actually come to the surface. So everybody's going to be different. So we can never really say, I've given samples at lunch to a guy who's a total junk food. And he was like, text me hours later, did you give me something with caffeine in it? And I said, no, there's no caffeine in it. He goes, I'm literally feeling the best I've ever felt. And I'm like, I gave you literally like 2 capsules. It's just bizarre, but again, bioavailability, that's what we have research in. I think, 5-8 studies that it is bioavailable. So carrots go to your eyes. They say eat carrots for better eyesight. Carrots go to your eyes. Leafy greens go to liver, kidneys. So, again, it's in the numbers. It's in, diabetics. I've seen my dad, A1C go down and stay down over the years. Again, he's been on it 18 years too. So, this isn't a quick fix. Some people get maybe a boost of energy real quick. Great with bowel movements. Maybe if they've been constipated, like I was a constipated mess for years. Sometimes that is, something you can see. So again, got to give it time. I've seen people who were very asthmatic, but in a year, it took a year, and now she's shot free. Otherwise, she was doing shots like once a month, and now she takes no shots. But it took a year. But she was severe to get that. So again, it takes everybody different time. It's tough to say that we can't quote that at all.
Right.
It's always going to do something good for every organ, every tissue, every muscle, every ligament. You're putting good nutrition in your body every day, and that's what everybody misses every day, So hopefully that answers your question.
Great question. Great question. Are there any more questions? Bunch is quiet.
We're so good during that 29 minutes. They're like, we don't have that.
Very, very good. All right. Well, we're not going to hold you all. We thank you all for spending time with us. Please reach out to us so that we can host an event for you. Maybe you need a very specific event. Maybe you need it on heart health. Maybe you need it on cancer. Maybe you need it on whatever that may be. We can bring it home for you and your family. So consider hosting an event, and we will come to you in the way that you will have us to come. So we appreciate everybody for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Coming into the fall. Hope these tips help, and just start somewhere. We appreciate you all.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you all. Samsung Galaxy.